Nothing is going to bring you more happiness and joy in your life than having a deep, romantic, intimate relationship. What I mean by this is I've experienced it with myself and witnessing a whole bunch of others that for the most people, 99% of the population, maybe there's 1% who are saints that are like Jesus and Gandhi and Mother Teresa, and maybe their life's calling is to be 100% called towards their mission, where they don't have the bandwidth for an intimate partner or a family, building their own family, and they're meant to be celibate and be a saint or a nun their whole life, right? But 99% of people, from my witnesses of people who are alone from all ages, including myself when I've been alone and when I have been in beautiful, intimate relationships, and when I witness with other people, that when you are deeply in love with a significant other in a romantic relationship, there's just unproportional amount of joy and happiness that comes from that. That's really uncomparable to pretty much anything else. Maybe you could argue for religious, spiritual folks, a great, divine, intimate relationship with God, with Jesus, is going to bring so much joy and happiness to your life to the same level or even more so. I'll give you that. But aside from that, no matter how much career success you have, business success, how much money you make, how much accolades or status you have, how much you travel, how much partying, alcohol you drink, how much fun you have going ATVing or skydiving or playing video games or watching movies or going hiking or whatever your forte is, how you find variety, the zest of life, the fun of life, it's not going to bring as much joy and happiness to your life as intimate love, romantic love, because you can have believe me, I have so many family and friends and great relationships I have so much joy and I have so much love for, right? But there's a different amount, it's a different type, right, that comes from an intimate romantic relationship, right? You can have as much relationship with your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, your siblings, your friends, your community, church. And all that is really important, and a lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness is going to come from those relationships. But there's a different level, there's a different significance, there's a different depth that comes from a deep, intimate, romantic relationship, because you can have that unconditional love, right? But you also need to have that romantic passion. There's a difference there. A lot of the relationships I see that are level 2 relationships are kind of meh, is they've been married for 30, 40 years. And man, that's a beautiful thing when you've been in a relationship for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? But you just have that love, which is really important, but you don't have that passion. You don't have that zest. You don't have that oomph. You don't have that romance anymore. There's that, right? And on the contrary, you don't want to just have that lust where it's just romance and that doesn't have that deep, spiritual, unconditional depth of love. You need both, right? But when you have both, man, it's uncomparable, right? Because you're not going to have that passion, that zest with a friend or a family member, right? You'll have a deep level of love for sure, right? But you're not gonna have that romantic, right? And then typically, if it's lust, obviously, religious folks, that's, you don't want just that either, right? Because that's missing the whole point of the fruitfulness of deep spiritual depth of unconditional love, right? But when you have both, man, that's such a beautiful thing. So I'm making this video purely that the point of life, I mean, there's a lot of contribution, fulfillment, success, traveling, fun, adventure. Believe me, I'm all about all that. But we all intrinsically know that love is the purpose of life. It's the center of life. God is love, Jesus is love, spiritual is love, 100%. And a lot of that's shown, right, through relationships, right? Our relationships with our family, super important. Relationships with friends, relationships with community, 100%. But specifically, I'm making this video for romantic love, because I've seen in my generation, older generations, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, right? If you lack that, oh man, you're missing out on so much. So don't have any limiting beliefs, and also get your priorities straight, right? Where's your values, right? Because I can tell what their beliefs are and what their values are by how they spend their time, how they spend their money, and how they speak, right? And so You know, if romantic love is your 10th value, it's your 10th priority, man, you might miss out. You probably will. I actually might bet on it, right? So you want to make sure you have your values in check, your priorities in check, and also your belief systems, because you might have limiting beliefs that will actually hinder you from ever having that deep romantic relationship that you actually yearn for, that's going to bring so much joy, so much fulfillment, so much happiness into your life, right? You could have limiting beliefs and messed up priorities around family, community, and friends as well, but typically, you know, people settle for connection over deep, intimate love, right? And I don't want you guys to miss out. So that's why I made this video. All right, guys, we're out here in beautiful, beautiful Lake Tahoe. God bless you. Much love. It's your boy, your coach, Deven Cripe, Coach DC. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. God bless you, and I'll check you next time. Peace out.